Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you guys how you can use a Google spreadsheet. So let's do this. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is go to your Google Sheet interface. So you can do that by clicking these 9 dots over here, and then when you scroll down you're going to see Sheets, and when you click that you're going to end up on this section. So we do have a template gallery over here, which is where you can browse through different templates based on what you're trying to do. So we do have a to-do list template, an annual budget template, we got a monthly budget template as well, and a bunch of other stuff over here. So for this tutorial, we want to keep this very simple, easy, and practical, something that you're going to use on your day-to-day basis. So we're going to start with a blank spreadsheet. So first thing we're going to do is set up columns. So we're going to call this column task, owner, channel, due date, status, and notes. So we're going to make this whole header row bold, so that way we know that this is the main section, and I'm going to freeze it. So I'm going to click view, we're going to click freeze, and we're going to click one row. So that way, as I'm scrolling through my list, the main row kind of stays static, and it just makes it easier for me to connect the dots. I'm also going to just highlight this row. So we're going to select all these cells, and we're going to click this box over here that says fill color, and I'm going to click this light yellow color over here. I'm also going to name this spreadsheet as a status sheet, or you can follow any other naming conventions that you have in your organization. So we're going to make our status column a little bit dynamic. So to do that, we're going to select the cell, we're going to click insert. So next I'd like to make my status column a bit more dynamic. So I'm going to select the column E over here and then click data, and I'm going to select data validation, and I'm going to add a rule. And over here we're going to make sure these cells are selected accurately. So we do have E1 selected all the way down to E1000, and over here for the criteria you do have different options, but since we are creating a drop down menu, I'm just going to click drop down, and over here we can set up the status items. So we do have the gray color over here, so I'm going to call this as not started. We're going to add another item that says in progress, and I'm going to give this the color green. We're going to have another item that says cancelled, and I'm going to give this the color red, and so on. So I'm also going to make sure that I select E2 to E1000 as my range, just to make sure the right cells are selected, and I'm going to click done. So now what's going to happen is that every time I want to update a status item, it's a bit more dynamic instead of me typing it out. So I can click this box over here and select the status of the item. So right now I selected it as in progress. If a certain item is cancelled, we're going to select it like so. Okay, so for the due date section, I want to make it more dynamic as well, instead of me just entering the date every now and then. So let's say I'm going to enter the date, and I'm going to call this as August 10th, 2025, and click enter. So what's going to happen is that Google Sheet is going to pick up on that date, and a calendar would be popped up like so. So that way you can select the date in a much more easier manner instead of you typing it out. And if you want this format to be applied to the remaining cells, you can just pull the cursor all the way down to a specific row, and that way the date will be reflected on each of these sections. And if you want to go and change in the due dates for any of these tasks, you can just go in, and a calendar will again pop up, and you can select your dates. So next we have the channel task. So for this I'm going to click insert, and you can also select simply drop down, which is another shortcut to get the same drop down menu that we worked on initially. And over here you can enter your cell range. So currently we do have C2 selected, and let's say I want this format to be applied to all the way to C1000 cells. So I'll just type it out over here like that and click enter. So that way we do have this drop down selected all the way to the end. For the criteria, I'm going to name this as a social channel, paid media channel, organic channel and things like that. And similarly, you can pick your color and make it more fun and interesting. So every time I want to select a channel, I can click social, or I can pick paid media or organic and things like that. All right, so next up we have the task. This is where you're going to enter the specific task that you're working on to create this status sheet. So let's say we're going to type this as social media post 21, or whatever you want to call this, creative ad for Facebook, for Meta. So I added some tasks over here. The first one is social media post underscore 21. We have creative ad for Meta and social ad for boosting. So currently it is all of these tasks are owned by the copy team. The channel information is reflected over here. So we do have social, paid media, and organic channel listed accordingly. We do have due dates listed over here and the status of each of these line items. And if you have any notes that you want to share with your team, you can type it out over here. So this is like a very quick example on how you can use Google Sheets to create your status sheet for marketing or project management reasons. Now let's say this sheet looks great to you and you want to collaborate on this with your team. So you can do that by clicking the file and then clicking share and then clicking share with others. So I selected me as one of the team members, and I'm gonna select my sharing access. So we do have your commenter and editor. I'm gonna click editor and I'm gonna click send. So I'm going to get a notification in my email saying that I have been provided access to the sheet. So now I can just go in, review the sheet and make updates. All right, so that's how you can use Google Sheets to create a simple status sheet for your marketing or project management reasons. Now, if you want to download this status sheet, you can click file, you can click download, and we have different formats over here. So you got the Excel, PDF, web page, and all of that fun stuff. So let's say I want to do PDF. So I can select that and I will come to this section where I have to just make sure that the page size and the layout is correct. And once that is done, I can export this sheet into my computer. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video on how to use Google Sheets. There's so much more cool things that you can do with it, but I wanted to keep this video very simple, efficient, and practical so it's easy for you to understand. And let me know if you have any questions, and I shall see you guys in my next one. Till then, take care. Bye.